looks like we are live here from Fort Humboldt today. Just gonna wait a moment, give people a second here to join in. My official little live notification just popped up, so we should be live. Hello, anybody who is joining us right here off the bat. My name is Kyle, and I'm a park interpretive specialist with California State Parks. And today I'm out at Fort Humboldt State Historic Park, right in the middle of Eureka, California. This is a historic military fort that was built in the mid-1800s, around 1850, as a way for the military to come and help mitigate a conflict that was ongoing between European Americans who were coming into this area, colonizing, and the indigenous people who are already living here. We're not going to be talking so much about the conflict around Fort Humboldt today. What I would like to talk to you all about today is this beautiful herb garden that we have here. So this herb garden is inspired by a historical herb garden that was put here. Fort Humboldt is an incredibly isolated outpost. So this was really far out from other places where westernized people were living. And so the people who were living here at Fort Humboldt had to send out for a lot of the goods that were included in their cooking and things like that. And the journey to get here was incredibly difficult. So things that maybe expired really quickly could not make the journey up here to Fort Humboldt. And so for that reason, this garden was created so that way the people who were living here could have some fresh herbs to eat. But also a lot of the herbs that were planted in this garden were planted with medicinal reasons. Because medical supplies were hard to come by, and because medicine was just not in the place that it is today, a lot of the soldiers that were treated in the hospital here at Fort Humboldt would also utilize the herbs and things that were planted here in the garden. So the garden was said to be built right around the same time as Fort Humboldt was being created, right around 1853, and that Ulysses S. Grant, one of the kind of famous people who was stationed here at the fort and later became president, was one of the driving forces in getting the garden created. So we have just a little interpretive sign here. I'm going to read off just the 4 flowers that are on here, the 4 herbs that are on here and their medicinal effects, and then we'll do a little tour of the garden. And I am not an expert on herbs and their medicinal uses, so as we go through some of these plants, some of them I'm not going to know. I would love any feedback that you guys have. If you know some medicinal uses of these plants, or if you know more about these plants than I do, please feel free to share down in the comments. I love it when you guys have input. All right, so we've got the 4 plants that our sign tells us about and their medicinal uses. We have borage, which was used to make a syrup for antidepressants, said to drive away your sorrows. You have heartsease or Johnny jump-ups that were used to treat heart disease. And while they're not flowering right now, it does create a really pretty flower, and we should be able to find those. We've got the hen and chicks, which are used to treat burns, stings, and itchiness, kind of similar to aloe vera. And then we have lemon balm, which was used for, it says, a variety of ailments, including nervous tension, anxiety, digestive problems, all kinds of stuff. So, medicinal herbs that are tasty, as well as can, help you in medicinal ways. So this garden was recreated when the fort was acquired by state parks, and with some of the plan of rebuilding some buildings here. The garden was part of that recreation effort. So this is not the original garden, or maybe even where the original garden was. But when this garden was first created and kind of at its prime, it actually won an award of merit back in 2001 for being absolutely beautiful. And while it may not be an award-winning garden today, we are looking to continue to plant the garden and get it back to that award-winning status. Kelly Jacobson asked a really great question. Does lemon balm grow year-round? And I do not know the answer to that. I can do a little bit more research after the program and find that out for you, unless there's somebody else in the program who knows and would like to tell you. So we'll just go ahead and start right on this box, and I will just kind of take you guys through. Like I said, I don't know everything here, but I'll just take you through kind of slowly, point out some of the stuff I know, and feel free to make any comments of things that you might recognize. So one of the things that steps out right to me is the chives, green onions. Love it. Very important part of at least what I eat. There's lady's mantle planted in the back there. I'm not super familiar with that plant. I've got some lavender, I believe, planted up here in the corner. I see somebody missed the beginning. Where exactly is Fort Humboldt? Fort Humboldt is in Eureka, right across from the Bayshore Mall. So if you're driving on Highway 101, you see the Bayshore Mall. I am right across the street from that, up on top of this little bluff. There's the lavender. You can almost smell it through the camera. This is a really interesting plant. I don't know what this is, but if anybody does and wants to tell me a little bit more about it, I would love to learn a little bit more about this plant. I think it's incredibly interesting. Rosemary in the back over there. Rose Champion. I'm not super familiar with this plant, but it is really pretty. It's even got some flowers still going on this time of the year. Lamb's Ear. This is one of my favorite plants. It's just incredibly soft. It's a great ground cover. Here we've got the lavender. Sorry, over there was the rosemary. Here we've got the lavender. Beautiful. It's got some ceanothus, some lilacs going on in here. Some yarrow, which I've heard you can chew on the root of to make your mouth numb. Maybe used for some may have been used for in the hospital building as like mild sedative, maybe for dental work or something like that. I've also got feverfew right here. This is the feverfew. See, lamb's ear. Yes, I love lamb's ear so much. And these are the hen and chicks right here. So that's used similar to aloe vera to treat burns, itchiness, poison oak, maybe. Some more chives hiding out over here. A bunch of wild strawberry growing. Really beautiful. Calendula. I don't know this plant, but looks like a might have been used as like a kind of a leafy green, almost like lettuce. Here's the last bed over here. See if I can get you guys a good angle on it. We've got some fir trees that have decided to start growing in this bed. I'm sure they'll get evicted in not too much longer. Little poppy sticking up over there. Some poppies planted in this garden as well. And then these are the Johnny Jump Ups. They're not flowering right now, but those are the plants that are used to treat heart disease, things like that. It's got a bunch more hen and chicks over here. Really pretty. And one of my favorite little gems to find growing in this center box right